From Alex, why is life worth living? Well, at least you get right to the point. Why is life worth living? That is like asking, why should I have sex with the wife I adore? That's what it's like asking, okay? And the answer is pretty much the same, because it's the pinnacle of existence. It is what you are here to be doing. It is the joy that you are doing. And if it's not, the reason is why not? The answer is you're not doing it right. That's all it is. You're not doing it right. So actually, you're asking the wrong question. It's not why is life worth living. It's how is life worth living, right? Once you understand how to live life, the answer will be self-evident, right? It is self-evident why you make love to the woman you love, right? That's self-evident. You don't need to write me and say, why is this worth doing? You know, right? But it's because you know how, hopefully, to do that. Well, how do you do that? Maybe the answers are the same. How do you make love so that the answers are obvious? Well, the biggest thing is you pay attention. You pay attention. You don't pay attention to you. You pay attention to the person you're in love with. You pay attention to, in this case, to life. You pay attention to life. You know, I don't want to get facile, because paying attention is a really difficult thing. The reason it's difficult is everything that is worthwhile about life takes place inside you, but everything that is life takes place outside you. So you look at the blue sky is beautiful, but the idea of beautiful, the experience of beautiful happens inside you. So you've got to be looking outside and inside at the same time. No easy trick. That is why, because you can't look at yourself you can't look at your own eye without a mirror. That is why you start to have to think about the existence of God and the existence of God's creation. And paying attention and love are very closely related. In fact, I would say the true attention comes through love, and love has to be turned. Love begins inward. You love yourself, and then you have to love others as you love yourself. You learn from loving yourself what it means to love, and then you love others, and then you love God, and not necessarily in that order. So when you live life that way, when you live life fully awake, fully alert, it becomes obvious to you why you're living, because you are so full of joy and vitality, even in moments of sadness and sorrow, that it just becomes obvious to you why you won't even ask the question. The question is, how is life worth living? And by the way, I believe that this is what the Gospels are about. Everybody else thinks the Gospels are about, don't do that. No. It's about telling other people what you should be doing. But Jesus is always talking about this. What keeps you from paying attention? Fear, anxiety, worry. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Don't care about tomorrow, let tomorrow take care of itself. Let the sufficient unto the day are the evils thereof. The Beatitudes, when you listen closely to the Beatitudes, you have to ask yourself, why is he saying this stuff? Why is he saying, blessed are those who mourn? Because part of life is its tragedy, and that, unlike the Buddhists who want to exit life so they don't suffer, Jesus recommends immersing yourself in life, and he shows you that he himself immerses himself in life and death and in the tragedy of experience. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. I'm kind of doing this off from memory, but blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Why? Aristotle said, loving virtue and doing, acting in a virtuous way. Those are the ways to joy. So all these things, it is in the Bible, but if you love God and you love your neighbor, and those were the two big ones that Jesus pointed to, he said everything else hangs from that. All the rules we come up with, they hang from that. And when the rules no longer serve those two commandments, love God, love your neighbor, get rid of the rules. Love God, love your neighbor are the hook that all those things hang on. If those rules are not serving that hook, then if they're not hung on that hook, then they've become empty. Which is why Jesus says all these stuff where people will say, well, wait, you got to follow the rules. And he'll say, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. He'll say, okay, follow the rules, but he who's without sin, throw the first stone. Why? Because the law is no longer hung on that hook, that double hook of loving God and loving your neighbor. You live like that, pal. Last night, I let myself get annoyed by something petty. let myself get annoyed by something petty, and for several hours, I lost the joy of what I was doing. And when I backed up, I thought, oh my God, things are going great. I love what I'm doing. I got let some little petty person get in my way, and I lost my joy. That's the stuff that is in the gospel. When you read the gospel, you start to pay attention to what the real meaning of things are. You won't ask, why is life worth living? Ask, how is life worth living?